Hello everyone! It is officially March 1st, and so today I'm doing my February reading wrap up. So let's get to it. February wasn't as good of a reading month for me as January, but that's okay. I still read a total of 5 books, and more than half of them I enjoyed, so that is good. Yeah. Let's just jump right into the first book. I'm just gonna go in the order in which I read them and talk about them from there. Okay, so the first book I read was Raiders of the Lost Heart by Joe Segura. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. I'm really sorry. Here's the cover. I no longer own it because I didn't like it. I was buddy reading this with my best friend. We thought we were gonna have a fun little time. It started out fun, and then I quickly lost interest. Yeah, it just wasn't for me. I don't have very many positive things to say, so I'm not gonna linger too long on this book. It really wasn't for me. God, my freaking clown hair. Yeah, that's it. It just wasn't for me. I see how other people would enjoy it and have fun reading it, but it wasn't my cup of tea. So yeah, we're gonna move on. I gave it 2 stars. I didn't absolutely despise it, and I didn't DNF it, but it wasn't my thing, and I probably should have DNF'd it, but I didn't. Yeah, so we're gonna move on to the next book that I read. Alright, book 2 that I read in February was one that I actually really enjoyed. Turn the page of my reading journal. And that was Paladin's Grace by T. Kingfisher. I was very surprised by this because I didn't realize it was a romance. For those of you who don't know, I don't like to read the synopsis of books. I just I read like the first maybe like sentence or two, you know, or if there's like one little chunk and then, you know, the rest, I'll read like that first little opening bit of the synopsis, but I won't read further. And if that opening bit interests me, I will pick a book up, or if it's from an author that I have enjoyed in the past, I will just go ahead and pick the book up. And I've enjoyed 2 of T. Kingfisher's books previously, and so I was interested, knowing that this one was a series. I was interested in picking it up and seeing how it was, and I absolutely really adored this. This was about this paladin named Stephen, and he's kind of serving a dead god, or not really serving him anymore. He's working for basically as like a bodyguard, mercenary kind of guy for this other saints people. It's hard to explain. And so he's just kind of going about his life trying to deal with the fact that, you know, his saint is dead, and he's kind of trying to find his purpose in life. And he meets a young perfumer named Grace, Paladin's Grace. As soon as I realized her name was Grace, I was like, oh, this is a romance. And they kind of strike up this friendship, and it turns into a romance, and it's just really sweet and touching. And there's like a murder mystery going on, and like a whole bunch of other stuff. I only gave this one 4.5 stars, even though I really loved it, because I felt some of the world building and stuff was a little confusing, and I think it will probably be cleared up in later books. So yeah, I can't wait to continue in this series. I really adored it, and it was a better romance than the straight up romance book I read before. So it was my romance redo, I was calling it. And yeah, and I went ahead and painted painted the pages purple to match the book. But then after that, I realized that all of the other books in the series are only available in hardcover and they're expensive. So I'm a little sad that I'm not going to be continuing anytime soon. I hope that they become available in paperback. I don't know why they're not available in paperback. Sorry, I see my kitty out my window. He's enjoying the sunshine. Anyway, yeah, this was 4.5 stars. Really enjoyed it. Can't wait to continue in the series, even though it's gonna be a while before I do. We're gonna move on. And speaking of series that I continued in January, I reread Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. My brain just completely lost the title of that book. Anyway, yeah, in January I reread Emily Wilde's, oh my god, Encyclopedia of Fairies. I keep wanting to say Map of the Other Lands because that's the one I'm holding. And, you know, I still absolutely loved it, and I couldn't wait to pick up book 2. And so, yeah, I picked up book 2, and it completely blew my mind. It exceeded my expectations in every way. I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. Yeah, I have no words. It was everything. It was everything. The progression of Emily and Wendell's relationship, and the fairies that are in this one, and the kind of quests that they're going on. It's just all so wonderful, and I just love Emily so much. She's such a wonderful, strong character, and I like that she's strong in other ways than like the typical like fantasy heroine. Like she's just very, she's quirky, and I love her, and I love the way her brain works, and I can't wait. I think book 3 is the conclusion of their story, and like I can't wait, but at the same time I'm gonna be so sad. But you know, I can always reread the books, and I love this so much. And yeah, it was 5 stars, obviously. Duh. Yeah. And the next book I read in February was a bit of a disappointment. And it was City of Stardust by Georgia Summers. This is the Fairy Loot edition. I read it for the Fairy Loot read along. This is like, it's got 2 covers, but I prefer this cover to the one it came with. But yeah, City of Stardust by Georgia Summers. You know, like for 200 pages, I thought this was going to be a new favorite, and it kind of, as soon as all of the secrets and stuff got explained, it was losing me, because to me, it stopped making sense. Which is so frustrating because it was so good. Like, I was loving this. It's got a very whimsical way of telling the story, and like, you don't fully get a grasp of the characters, but it's okay. You know, I don't know how to explain it. I'm terrible at explaining things, of course. If you've seen any of my videos, you know that already. But yeah, I was expecting this to be a new favorite. Like, I was like 200 pages in, I was like, I'm loving this. I can't wait to see what happens. And then, yeah, about the 300 page mark, it really started to lose me, to the point where I was almost gonna DNF it. But yeah, I didn't, but I gave it 3.5 stars on a whole, because I was loving the first half so much. But yeah, in this book we're following Violet Everly, and there's this curse on her family, and when she was very young, her mother disappeared to like run away from the family curse, or to find a way to break the family curse, I suppose is what she did. And we're following Violet as she's growing up, and she's living with her uncles, and they're trying to find ways to avoid Violet having to go to the curse, because like every generation, one of the Everlys has to like sacrifice themselves for some reason. And yeah, it's just her growing up in this interesting house, and there's this secret world of scholars that are doing stuff, and like I said, it started to lose me. Yeah, it was very atmospheric. I liked the characters. Yeah, I don't know, it was just, yeah, it was a disappointment, and I'm really bummed about it. But I'm gonna stop talking nonsense about it, and we're gonna move on. And the last book I read in February, I reread, finally, The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. Yeah, I really liked it. I think I liked it maybe a little more than the first time I read it. I certainly have more of a grasp now on what was actually going on. I feel like the first time I read it, I had only given it a 4-star because I didn't quite understand what happened. But upon reread, I do understand now what happened, and I will be continuing in the series. I gave this 4.5 stars upon reread. But it's still, I would have given it 5 stars because the ending is so strong and so good. But like, yeah, towards the middle, I felt it really dragging, and this book is only barely over 300 pages, so I feel like for it to drag so much is really weird. I don't know, but yeah, I've lost all ability to say coherent things, I think. My gosh, my gosh. My gosh. Oh man. Anyway, okay, this is the last book I have to talk about. I wasn't prepared to do this today, but it's the 1st of March, so it's now or never. Yeah, 4.5 stars. We're following characters and they're doing stuff. That's the plot. This was a big hit way back in the day when it first came out. I remember everyone was talking about this series, so I'm sorry if you don't know what it's about, and I can't help you because I can't pronounce any of the names in this book. So yeah, look up the synopsis if you want to read it. Russian folklore, yeah, Russia stuff, bears, nightingales, horses, a girl, witches, demons, stuff, creepy stuff. Yeah, yeah, 4.5 stars. I will be continuing book 2 probably sometime soon before I forget what this one was about, which is why it's taking me so long to pick up book 2 in the first place, was because I forgot what happened in book 1. Yeah, you can see there's book 2 on my shelf right there, the second book in right there, the dark one right there. There it is. That's book 2. That's my TBR shelf, by the way. It's getting really slim. But yeah, I'm gonna really, I should stop talking. I was gonna say I should quit while I'm ahead, but I'm not ahead anymore, I don't think. I don't think I even spoke coherently about any of these books today. But yeah, that was my reading wrap up. Oh, let me show you my scarf. I can't forget about the scarf. Well, here's my little sheet for those of you who don't know, if you didn't watch my January reading wrap up, and if you didn't, I don't blame you. But I'm basically making a scarf with book reviews on it, and for each star rating I have a different color yarn, and for each 100 pages in the book, it's 2 rows, or well, 1 row technically, but it's 2 rows to make the full stitch in my scarf. Let me get it. Here it is. See, it's still attached. Here's my scarf. So this is what it looks like so far for 2 months. This little bee here marks where February started. So 2 stars for Raiders of the Lost Heart, 4 stars for Paladin's Grace, even though it's technically 4.5. 5 stars for Emily Wilde's Map of the Other Lands. 3 stars for City of Stardust, and this is my color that I do for rereads. And yeah, that is what it's looking like. Don't judge my crocheting. I'm really bad at it. I don't pretend that I'm good. I'm not going to show you the back. Maybe I will. I did tie off all my ends this time though, so go me. Anyway, yeah, there's my scarf. I'm thinking it's really cute so far. I can't wait. It's going to be adorable. When it's done, it's going to be adorable. Anyway, yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. I gotta stop talking, honestly. I should have stopped talking long ago. Oh, man. Bye.